Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins. And in the last episode, we were talking to Kurisu about the now recently completed time leap machine, having conversed with her future self, 5 hours into the future that is, when we saw that Suzuha Mane, working from the Brawn Tube workshop, basically overheard our conversation and then ran away to a previously undisclosed location. Fortunately, we were able to intercept her instead of losing her like last time, and thus didn't have to resort to a demail in order to circumvent the fact that she completely vanished on us. But we managed to track her down to none other than the radio building where the satellite is still embedded in the roof for the 8th floor of the radio building. And we discovered that, much to our surprise, Suzuha can actually operate the satellite, although it's in clearly broken condition since it's heavily damaged. But the shocking revelation is that Suzuha Mane has revealed herself to be none other than John Titor, someone who we thought was Suzuha's father, who's gone by the pseudonym of Barrel Titor, which basically means that all this time, on that channel, the person who was communicating with Rintaro Okabe, aka Houn Kiyoma, the one who believed that he was the Messiah destined to free the world line from CERN's evil dystopian aims, is none other than Suzuha Amane. There's still a big crowd outside, so we exit the building on the side facing away from the station. Suzuha's calmed down a bit, so I start pressing her for answers.
お前がジョン・タイターとはどういうことだ?
Actually, it should have actually been fairly obvious at some point, because John Titor mentioned that the IBN 5100 was necessary to combat CERN. Moments after we actually encountered Suzuha, she mentioned something about the IBN 5100. And she seemed to know a little bit too much about CERN than she should have. In fact, you can say that Suzuha has effectively been guiding us from start to finish, basically. And that would explain John Titor's lack of modern day decorum, so to speak, or at least internet decorum on that channel. And it would also explain Suzuha's own verbal idiosyncrasies.
男だと思っていた。
Suzuha smiles humorlessly. That is a unfortunate mistake on our part.
まんまと騙された？カムフラージュの意味もあるんだよね。
Indeed.
何から隠れようとしていた。
セルン。
So we can now take it as read that all of Suzuha's messages about CERN are entirely correct, given everything that has transpired at this point.
そう。一部を除いて、ほとんどが事実。
But apparently there were a few deviations in the timeline. It's those exceptions that bother me.
お前は2036年から来たというのか。あの人工衛星。いや、タイムマシンに乗って。
So that satellite in question was the time machine that Suzuha apparently reverse engineered using CERN's own time travel technology.
本当は 正体明かさないままでいようと思ったんだけどさ、よりによってマシンが故障してるなんて。
That will probably, we can probably say that that is a tremendous
完
setback.
全に私の失策だ。
だがタイターのタイムマシンはシボル園に積まれていたはず。
Yeah, we're still, Suzuha clearly doesn't know about the, John Titor from 2000.
シボルエ車だっけ。それどこからの情報？
Yeah, funny story that.
2000年に現れたタイターが自分でそう言った。
2000年？それもしかすると別の世界線の私かもね。
That might be the case, also, it, might not be.
少なくとも私は2000年には行ってない。2036年からまっすぐここに来た。
So Suzuha has never been to the 2000 in this particular world line. So it was a different John Titor? It's true that Titor never posted in 2000, not on this world line. But we can worry about that later. Finally we can start getting some real answers, although we have to kind of remember that we're on the clock here, because 5 hours time Mayuri Shina is going to be killed one way or another, and we still have no
お前は何を知
solutions.
っている。
I press Suzuha for answers, trapping her between me and the wall so she can't
さ
escape.
っき俺とクリスの話を聞いていたな。なぜあんなに慌ててタイムマシンに向かった。お前は何をしようとしたんだ。
3 very important questions. I wonder if she can answer them
せ
all.
いかと思って。
What do you mean, your fault?
私がここでのんびりしてたせいでセルンの好きにさせちゃったんだ。
That probably has something to do with the fact that your time machine was set to 1975, which just so happens to be the year that the IBN 5100 was manufactured. Of course, if Suzuha managed to get her hands on one, not that they were relatively easy to get a hold of even back then, excuse me, sorry, wasn't able to turn my microphone off in time, sorry about that. But as I was saying, given the fact that the IBNs were manufactured back in 1975, Suzuha definitely wanted to try and get her hands on one,
ね
basically.
え、本当なの？
But it appears that since she came back from 2036 to 2010, she hasn't been able to do that. Suzuha suddenly grabs my shoulders.
椎名真由里があと数時間後にセルンに殺されるって本当？
If that were true, then stopping SERN would ultimately mean that Mayuri lives. Unfortunately, it's not that simple.
事実だ。俺は5時間後からタイムリープしてきた。
Yeah, and eventually we will need to remember that
タイム
fact.
リープ。
Different from time
君たち
travel,
のタイムマシ
obviously.
ン完成したんだ。
Not entirely.
それより答えろ。お前の生とはどういうことなんだ。
And Suzuha says nothing. Suzuha bites her lip and looks away.
全部話すよ。私のこと。
But probably not here. There might be CERN agents lurking about.
話さなくちゃいけないと思う。君と牧瀬クリスには。
Kurisu? The whole time you've encountered Kurisu Makase was when you were completely at each other's throats. Why Kurisu? Does it mean that you've had a change of heart? I guess I'll find out if I let Suzuha talk. We should head back to the lab. But first, I offer Suzuha my handkerchief. She looks at me for a second, then takes it and ties it around her burned hand. It's the least we can do. Off we go back to the Future Gadget Lab. She should probably see a doctor about that, but there's no time. Mayuri's death is unfortunately approaching. Honestly, we really need a future diary to give us a dead-end flag, so we can try and find a way to avoid it. Hopefully we don't run into any pink-haired, murderous, crazed yanderes, if that were the case. Hopefully not. I just hope that Suzuha's not in too much pain. I wrap a towel around her to keep people like us, to keep people around us from staring.
おかりんおかえり。すずさんも一緒だったんだね。
And Mayuri and Daru are here, and probably Kurisu as well. When we get to the lab, Mayuri and Daru are there for some reason. I thought I sent these two home. Mayuri gives me a ditzy answer when I ask them. I really thought we should celebrate the birth of Super Phone Wave Chan. I thought you were going to call that silly hat Phone Wave Chan. But it's the time leap machine.
ダル君と二人で買い出ししてね、帰ってきたの。
So because Rintaro and Kurisu didn't go shopping, Daru and Mayuri filled in for them basically. I should have known she wouldn't stay away. Kurisu looks as worried as I am. She leans close and whispers into my ear.
どうする？
Well, we still have some time until SERN basically break down our door.
マユリには絶対事情を知られないようにするんだ。
That's probably for the best. Kurisu nods slightly.
何こそこそ話してるん？
あ、
Very important information that concerns the future of the Future Gadget Lab.
おかりん、付き合い悪いよ。
Well, considering that our party will have a bunch of uninvited gatecrashers by the name of CERN, that's also no fun.
そういう問題ではなく。
I glance at Suzuha. She still looks depressed, now that we know that she's John
元気ない
Titor.
けどどうかしたの？
これから俺とクリスティーナとスズハで重要な話をする予定でな。だからお前たちには帰ってもらったのだ。
It's probably best that the two of you remain out of sight for the moment.
マユシンも聞きたいよ。
I'm not sure you'll be able to follow much of the conversations there, Mayuri.
いや、マユシ、空気読んだ方がよくね？
Daru gets it though.
でも、すずさん落ち込んでるみたいだし、なんだかね、マユシは心配なのです。
I think we're all worried at this point, Mayushi.
ごめんね。
Very worried. And Suzuha is rather apologetic. Suzuha hangs her head and bites her lip. I know she feels responsible for Mayuri's death, but I don't think she is the cause. But how is she related? That is what I'm here to find
椎名
out.
真由里と橋田至にも聞いてもらいたい。二人にも関係ある話だと思うし。
So apparently Suzuha's story involves both Mayuri and Daru as well. Guess there's no going around that. If Suzuha says so, then I have no objections. But I quietly pull her aside and remind her not to tell them about Mayuri's impending death. We already have enough trouble with it as it is with SERN. Then I quickly explain Suzuha's true identity, that she is the one posting on our channel as John Titor, and that the satellite in question is Suzuha's time machine, which she bought from the year 2036. It's a lot to take in, I know, but it's the
未来人
truth.
すげえマジパネっす握手してもらっていいですか
This is no time for
誰遊びではないんだぞ。
celeb gazing here, Daru.
すずさんは何年生まれなの ?2017 年。
So, Suzuha would have been born a year ago when this particular world line, that is the world line that I'm in at the moment. So, yeah.
まだ生まれてないのにここにいるんだね。
And, I think Mayuri's brain gears are starting to wear themselves out in confusion. Of course, 2017 is 7 years after 2010. That was a very long time ago. Time flies. Speaking of which, there's no time to deal with Mayuri's confusion. I can actually imagine steam exploding out of Mayuri's ears as a result of her confusion. He's just not very good at keeping up with this stuff.
詳しく話してもらおう。
Now it's time for the true story behind John
言
Titor.
ってもタイターとして書き込んだ内容がほとんど全て。私は2036年の未来から来た。その時代はセルンによって支配されたディストピアで、争いは完全に消えたけど人々は自由を奪われてる。
Yeah, that's pretty convenient for an organization that basically monopolizes the entire time travel market.
ディストピア
Mayuri, the one source of innocence in the future gadget laboratory.
極端な管理社会、全体主義。マユリがバナナを食べたいと思っても、今日がバナナを食べていい日でなければ食べることは許されない。もし食べたら裁判なしで実刑。そんな社会ってところ。
Yeah, CERN is that strict. What monsters.
それは困るよ。マユシーはバナナ大好きなのに。
I just hope we can make sure that that particular future never happens. Forget about the bananas, however.
私はさ、セルンの支配からの解放のために戦うレジスタンスなの。
So apparently not all are happy with CERN's dystopian rule.
この時代にタイムトラベルしてきたのは、そんな今を。
And here we were just sending D-mails into the past and changing the future just for fun.
君たちからしたら未来になるのか。未来を変えるため。
Well, it would be more accurate to say from this point in time. Change the future. She doesn't sound like she's joking. In fact, she's been quite serious with us the whole time on this.
っていうのはあれは嘘だったのかな
Well, she did say that her father posted under the name Barrel Titor. And, I don't think that her behavior regarding his disappearance was faked. Suzuha doesn't answer. Does that mean it was a lie?
セルンは研究機関であって権力を持つ統治機関じゃない。私は何度もネット上でジョン・タイターにそう訴えてきた。
And yet they have the power to send armed, deadly hit squads and assassins to come after us, we of the Future Gadget Laboratory. Also, since when did you explain anything to John Titor? Oh wait, this was on that channel. And we know that Kurisu is a ad channel adrenaline junkie. Online.
まさかお前栗ご飯とカメハメハか
Yet another mystery solved. So, Kurisu Makase was the user known as Kuri Gohan and Kamehameha. By the way, your internet grammar and spelling is awful, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Kurisu turns red and looks away.
タイターの中の人が名乗り出たんだから私も名乗り出ないとフェアじゃないでしょ
Yeah, but his sentence, well, her sentences, because of course John Titor was actually Suzuha Amane. But anyway, Suzuha's sentences were all articulate and very well laid out, and they were scientific. Yours were, how should I put this, generic. Well, I guess you were probably trying to hide your true identity, but still, I mean, come on, even for a scientist, that's pretty low budget.
ならば俺もそれに習おう俺は王院京馬というマナで
I think everyone knows who Hyoin Kyoma is.
それは知ってるあ、ハモった
I think you owe me a Dr. Pepper. I think both of you owe me a Dr. Pepper, actually. Suzuha frowns. She must not like having anything in common with Kurisu. She clears her throat and continues. Maybe now we'll finally learn the truth behind this antagonism of theirs.
セルンは2036年でも研究機関だよ
Officially.
世界を支配してるのはセルンのバックにいる300人委員会ってやつら
Ah, yes, once again the infamous Committee of 300, as found in CERN's secret documents on their network server.
実在したのか
It appears that way, Rintaro.
セルンがタイムマシーン開発に成功したことで彼らは時間っていう4つ目の次元に干渉できる唯一の存在になった
So basically, thanks to CERN's monopoly of the time machines, the Committee of 300 are basically the ones who want to control all of time and
その
space.
結果たった2年で世界の秩序は全て塗り替えられたってわけ
But unfortunately, the Committee of 300 was not merely content with just ruling one world. They wanted to rule all the worlds in every world line. Just 2 years, but I guess that's in objective time. I bet CERN's time travelers spent many decades leaping back and forth across history, building the foundation of CERN's rule.
そんでもって 牧瀬クリス。
Suzuha glares at Kurisu. So now we get to the
2036
heart
年に
of
おい
it.
て君はタイムマシンの母として崇敬されている。
So she is basically revered by CERN in 2036.
日本語で OK。
崇敬、崇め、敬われているってこと。
She keeps using unusual vocabulary, or maybe that's normal vocabulary in 2036.
敬われてって私が
Probably not in the way that you think.
2010年にタイムリープの概念を史上初めて発見し、その後もセルンのタイムマシン開発に貢献した人物。それが私の聞かされた牧瀬クリスっていう人間よ。
Well, considering the fact that Suzuha never actually met Makase Kurisu in her particular timeline, it's not really surprising that that's all she ever knew about her. Is that why she treats Kurisu like an enemy?
ならば俺がタイムマシンの父だな。
岡部倫太郎はテロリスト扱いされてる。結構有名。
So, Rintaro is not credited for the work on the time machine, but Kurisu is. Which is rather strange. Of course, Haru and Kiyoma would be seriously disappointed. But still, Rintaro Okabe, a terrorist in the far future?
私がセルンでタイムマシン開発に携わるっていうこと？信じられない。
Indeed, as we've seen many times, Kurisu has actually been rather opposed to CERN's lack of ethics regarding their time travel research. But if we remember, Moeka said she was under orders from CERN to take back Daru, Rintaro, and of course, Kurisu herself.
セルンは人体実験までしてるのよ。科学者の風上にも置けないそんな連中のところになんて行くつもりはない。
And yet, Moeka did also say that when we were prisoners of CERN, we would be forced to work on their time machine. So basically, Kurisu was essentially used as kind of like a mother figure, and essentially used as propaganda by CERN, in the same way that Michael Altman in the Dead Space series was used as a propaganda figurehead for the rather infamous religion of unitology, basically.
でも未来ではそうなってた。
未来の私はなんて言ってた？
That is an excellent question.
会った
Hope you
こと
got a
も
good
一度もないよ。
answer.
それに2036年にはもう亡くなってたし。
I figured as much. So once CERN no longer needed Kurisu to work on the project, they basically just executed her, and then used her name to instill fear and terror, so that anyone who knew of CERN's time machines would automatically know of Kurisu Makase.
今さらっとすごいこと言われた。
Tragedy, ain't it?
私って
Indeed it is.
50歳まで生きられないってこと？
Not where CERN is concerned, I'm afraid.
私の時代では極端に長生きの人と不審な亡くなり方をする若い人の2種類がいた。セルンに逆らうような言動をする人はどんどん消されていった。
Indeed, erased from all of existence.
私も
Pretty much. And yet, for some reason, you bought into their lie. Maybe Suzuha just wanted a tangible enemy to actually project her own fears and anger. Suzuha looks into Kurisu's eyes. For once, she's not glaring at Kurisu.
もしかしたら君もセルンに利用されたのかもしんないね。例えば両親を人質に取られて無理やり研究させられたとか。
That would almost certainly be the case given Kurisu's moral ethics to science.
ママが危ないの？
Kurisu's mother is in America. It isn't terribly difficult to imagine SERN kidnapping her while Kurisu is away. After all, we did watch Mowoka kill Mayuri in cold blood.
ラウンダー。
何それ？
Basically, CERN's goon squad that does all their dirty work for them.
セルンの傭兵部隊というところか。
Basically a bunch of hired guns, contract mercenaries. Not an actual army or a militia. But Suzuha
名
nods.
目上はセルンとは独立した技術調査班って位置づけだけどさ、実態は汚れ役もこなす何でもや。
Like basically appropriating every single IBN 5100 in existence. According to Moeka, they have two chief duties. First, to acquire the IBNs, the only computers that can access CERN's secret database. And second, to find promising scientists in the field of time travel and force them to cooperate with CERN, or eliminate them if they will not. Or eliminate them even if they do, because once their usefulness is over, CERN has no use for them and they'll basically be erased. In the
この
same
時
way
代
as
にもすでに
Kurisu.
存在してるんだね。私はずっとラウンダーの連中と戦ってたんだ。
So Suzo has fought against them as well.
まさか誘拐とか暗殺とかも。
So basically, they're basically like the Turks from Final Fantasy VII, although nowhere near as classy, or as professional, I might add. It would actually be better if we were going up against the Turks in this case, because then Ho and Kiyoma would really get to shine, but I digress. Suzuha looks to me with a question in her eyes. I shake my head.
私の時代ではそういうこともしてた。今はまだそこまでしてないんじゃないかな。
No, I hate to contradict you here, Suzuha, but they're the ones who murdered Mayuri. Daru is visibly relieved. Hate to break it, but that's not entirely true.
ねえ、あまねさん。あなたさっきジョン・タイターとして語ったことはほぼ全て事実だって言ったよね。
And if memory serves, she did reply that there are a few exceptions.
そうだよ。
ということは、あなたは世界の構造について把握してるっていうこと？エベレット・ホイーラーモデル、いわゆる多世界解釈で説明できるってあなたは書いていたはず。
あれはフェイク情報。セルンに目をつけられないためのカムフラージュ。
So apparently that statement about the many worlds interpretation was apparently camouflage against
本当
CERN.
の中に嘘を一つ混ぜると途端に全体が嘘くさく見えるんだ。
じゃあ把握はしてないのね。
してるよ。2036年ではさ、世界の構造は解明されてるんだ。多世界解釈じゃなかった。
So it's a completely different interpretation altogether.
本当に 詳しく教えて。
And Kurisu's scientific curiosity is brimming to the surface
ア
once
トラクタ
again.
フィールド。
Ah yes, the attractor field.
そう。岡部倫太郎にはメールで直接教えたよね。
Indeed,
それ
I recall it too
どん
well.
な解釈なの？
世界は世界線とアトラクタフィールドでできてる。
Suzuha walks over to Mayuri's sewing table and picks up a ball of red yarn. She holds one end of the yarn and drops the ball to the floor, then holds about a meter of yarn in front of her face.
世界の構造はより糸みたいなものなの。いくつもの可能性世界線が重ね合わせの状態になってて、常に無限個に枝分かれしてってるわけ。
As you can see, the red yarn in particular is actually not entirely red after
全
all.
体を見ると一本に見えるけど、ミクロなレベルだとより細い糸が絡み合うように世界を構成してる。
So each of the threads is essentially a representation of the each of the individual world lines, basically.
最終的にはそれらの細い糸は一つに収束する。経過は違う。
それって決定論じゃないの？
Determinism. Don't really know that one. The school of philosophy that states that every event is predetermined by previous events. The past determines the present determines the future. Even though we may think we are acting of our own free will, in truth we are only following a predetermined path. Those who subscribe to determinism often cite the thought experiment of Laplace's demon. For an intellect which at a certain moment would know all forces that set nature in motion, and all positions of all items of which nature is composed, nothing would be uncertain, and the future, just like the past, would be present before its eyes. Pierre Simon Laplace.
近いかもね。でももうちょっとアバウト。
So not quite like the word line model isn't exactly like determinism.
多世界解釈とコペンハーゲン解釈のいいとこ取りって感じ。
分岐はするが結末は同じ。ということは世界は結局一つなのか。
And that could also basically mean that no matter which route we take, no matter which world line we end up on, Mayuri's death is an unfortunate outcome.
そういうこと。で、その収束範囲内にある世界線の束がアトラクタフィールド。アトラクタフィールドもたくさんある。
So the attractor field is basically what causes the motion from start to finish, point A to
この
point
より
B.
糸はアトラクタフィールドアルファ。範囲内にあるのはアルファ世界線。
Suzuha then cuts meter lengths of blue, yellow, and white yarn.
青がアトラクタフィールドベータで、黄色がガンマで、白がデルタとして、それぞれベータ世界線やガンマ世界線やデルタ世界線を範囲内にたくさん内包してる。それこそ何億っていう数をね。
She twists the different colored strings together, then stretches them out as one fat, multicolored string.
アトラクタフィールドもこんな風にいくつも重ね合わせ状態になってる。それぞれのアトラクタフィールドごとでは起きる事象も収束する結果も違う。
So basically there are multiple sets of, we do know that there are many world lines, but there are bigger super world lines, basically.
干渉性は喪失してるわけ。それぞれが独立を保ってる。
So none of the alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and so on world lines don't actually interact with each other.
元をたどれば一つだし、アトラクタフィールドもさらにマクロな視点で見れば収束するけど、そのスパンは何百年っていうレベルなんだ。より大きな分岐と見ればいいかな。
It's certainly an interesting hypothesis, to say the least.
エロゲに例えたらどういうこと？教えて、エロい人。
This is definitely hardly the time, Daru.
エロい人なんていない。
いや、エロゲに例えるのは間違っていない。ヒロイン個別ルートがアトラクタフィールドで、その中に出てくる細かい選択肢がそれぞれの世界線だ。
And for once, Rintaro deigns to indulge Daru's
し
imagination.
かし最後には必ずトゥルールートに入ってグランドエンディングを迎える。
Almost kind of like a visual novel in that sense.
共通ルートが長いか短いか、それが問題だ。ちなみに僕だったら、せっかくだから妹キャラのアトラクタフィールドを選ぶぜ。
That's hardly here nor there,
勝手にし
Daru.
ろ。
ダメだ。
Nobody cares.
早くなんとかしないと。
私にはそのエロゲってのがよくわかんないんだけど。
Pay it absolutely no mind, Suzuha.
真剣に受け取らなくていいわよ。
Or just ignore Daru. But let me get this straight. The reason I can't save Mayuri is that her death is the event upon which this attractor field converges. But that basically means that Mayuri's death, no matter what we do, is inevitable. That means that the world, or rather this world line, really is killing
でも
Mayuri.
さ、それじゃ未来を変えるなんて無理じゃね？結局収束しちゃうんでしょ？何をしたって結果は同じじゃん。
That's right. That's why Mayuri dies no matter how many times I leap.
今私たちがいるアトラクタフィールドアルファの範囲外に出るの。
So basically, according to Suzuha, the world line that we are on is the one with the alpha attractor field.
範囲外？
But is there possibly a way to escape
つまり
the alpha attractor
ア
field?
トラクタフィールドベータにあるベータ世界線に飛び移るってこと？
And,
干
that's
渉できないんじゃ。
bit of a long shot because we still don't know whether or not if we jump from an alpha attractor field to a beta one, we still don't know whether or not Mayuri may or may not die in that
アトラクタ
that
フィールド同
series
士
of
が完
world
全に分
lines.
岐しちゃったらね。でもまさに分岐しようとしている瞬間なら。
分岐する瞬間。それが今だっていうこと？
That is if we're actually at the right point in
ダイバージェ
time.
ンスが大きく変わる分岐点は2010年にあるって私は教わった。
That's very convenient. Unfortunately, we only know the year, not the actual date
2000 年
itself.
や1991年並みのものすごい大分岐が起きてアトラクタフィールドレベルで枝分かれするって。なんで2000年と1991年なの？
That's a good question, Mayuri. I was actually wondering that myself,
どっちも
especially
世界規模の
1991.
大きな事件があったじゃん。事件
1991年はソ連崩壊だ。だが2000年は2001年なら同時多発テロがあったか？
So, yes, I'd completely forgotten that the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991. But 2000, if memory serves, there's only one thing that happened, or rather didn't happen, in the year 2000.
2000年は2000年問題の年だよ。
Otherwise known as the Y2K bug.
あれって騒がれた割には結局大した問題は起きなかったぞ。
That is probably where the apparent divergence happened in 2000.
今私たちがいるこのアルファ世界線が2000年問題が起きなかった可能性世界だから。
So in other words, there are worlds where it did occur.
そして
Here's the thought.
2010年。
And that brings us to 2010, it would seem.
今年って何か大きな事件起きたかな。今年最大の事件は
Suzuha looks towards the development room.
人類史上初のタイムマシン開発成功以外に何があるっての？
I would say in your face, SERN, but I don't feel like celebrating at this point.
あ、そっか。そうだよね。すごい。
Take that, Daru. We did create humanity's first time machine.
もう一つ
You
疑
owe
問
me
が。
some zenny. And Kurisu has one final question. Kurisu keeps plowing ahead. I guess that's what makes her a scientist after all.
重ね合わせ状態にある世界線ってパラレルワールドってわけじゃないんでしょ。
For those of you who don't know what parallel worlds are, they're a universe that exists separate from ours. It is believed that some parallel worlds are strikingly similar to ours, even containing duplicates of ourselves.
違うよ。あくまで可能性世界線が同時に存在しているだけ。
That clears a lot
そうだ
up,
として
I suppose.
世界線間の観測はどうやるの？神の視点でも持たなきゃ無理なんじゃない？
That is a good question. What exactly observes divergence between world
普通なら
lines?
ね。でも
Suzuha looks at me. Don't tell me.
リーディングしたいなか。
そういうネーミングなの？岡部倫太郎には世界線を越えて観測ができるっていう特殊な力がある。そうよね。
That was basically proven by the D-mail experiments so
そ
far.
れが鍵になる。
Apparently, Suzuha believes that we can use that against CERN.
世界をセルンの支配っていう呪縛から解き放つ鍵。今の君は神に匹敵する存在なんだよ。
俺の力が。
It's probably giving Rintaro too much credit there,
ベ
Suzuha.
ータ世界線へ到達すれば収束する結果も変わる。
I feel a shiver of excitement.
助けられるのか。
Hope for this world line against CERN, and hope for Mayuri, possibly. That's if we can actually get to the beta world line. But if we do, we can save Mayuri? Suzuha firmly nods. Then we must do it. But thou must. We have no choice.
ちょっと待って。
Kurisu has one final objection, however, and is not so
それ
enthusiastic.
本当に全部正しいの？天音さんの妄想が混じってる可能性は？
なに？妄想なんか混じってないよ。
Kurisu would beg to differ there, so I'm afraid we'll need some proof.
別に喧嘩を売ってるわけじゃない。
You could have fooled us, Kurisu.
ただ疑問なのよ。そもそもどうしてあなたは岡部が持ってる力とか2010年の岡部や私がこの秋葉原にいるって知ってたの？
Well, I can answer the first one. That was because we told John Titor about reading Steiner before Suzuha actually told us that she was in fact John Titor. As for the second one,
2017年生まれにしては詳しすぎじゃない。
she does have a point. Everyone looks to Suzuha.
父さんの遺書にそうあった。
Or apparently it all could have been written in Suzuha's father's will. Not the answer I was expecting.
どういうこと？私がタイムトラベルを決意したのは父さんの遺書を読んだから。
Certainly an interesting motivation there.
私が所属してるレジスタンスの設立メンバーの一人で、セルンとは別にタイムマシンの研究をしてたの。未来を変えるための研究をね。でも父さんもセルンに殺されて。
You have our sincerest condolences, Suzuha.
だから私は父さんの意志を継いでここにいる。
And it's a dream worth fulfilling. But I believe I'm going to end the episode here for now. And when we return, we shall continue brainstorming any possible way of jumping ship from the Alpha world line that we're currently on to the Beta world line, possibly free of CERN and where Mayuri doesn't end up getting killed. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.